Greetings YouTube, this is my collection video. I never quite ever finished collecting, so I thought I'd just go ahead and do a video today while I was doing some dusting. And I figured, you know, I'm never going to have all the pieces that I want to get on tape all at once, so I may as well just start here. This is my dragon collection. I'm a big fan of Gothic architecture. If you can't already tell, I have several other of these dragon type pieces that I can show off in maybe a different video one day. And then so this is where I keep all of my dragon-esque. A lot of them are the Platinum Movie Edition Dinobots, but I really like the sculpt that they produced. Even the Dragonstorm figure in the back. That movie was absolute trash, but a lot of the figures that came out of them I'm quite proud of. So let's go ahead and pan over. I'm going to try to keep this video short, so I'm not going to touch on every single figure, but I'll try to point out a couple things that might not make sense to some people. Like, I do have a lot of customs. For instance, these aren't Transformers up here. For those who don't know, I do have a couple of the dinosaur figures. That's the back, the one in the back here. Oops. That one is the, what is it, the Gigano dragon. He folds out into a big long snake, kind of Chinese-esque dragon. And this one's from the Monster Hunter series. It's pretty cool. It turns into a dragon and then corresponds into its former, or into its armor set that you get after you defeat the dragon. So that's really cool. So I'll go ahead and move on. I got the Cryotech in the back. And then I do have a light, and that's pretty neat. It's a little plasma ball. So I like to set that up at nighttime and just fiddle around with it. And then over here is a little bit of a mess, but I have some, that's one of my custom figures. I made a custom Trypticon before the Planet X version came out, but I'm still really into miniatures, so I still have it displayed. And it goes pretty good with that little itty bitty, I don't know, I guess it's RID Optimus. And some more movie line figures here, the Studio Series stuff, and then the Last Night Leader Class. I display the Jazz with the Megatron. I think that works pretty well. A couple more movie line toys. Trash. Dinobots. And over here, I'm really proud of this table here. This is my kind of masterpiece-esque Perfect Effects Mega Drogon Beast Wars take, third party. I don't have the third party, or I'm sorry, I don't have the Takara Megatron masterpiece yet, but that will go here with Dinobot, and he's already waiting for him. So that one day. And then here's a couple custom figures I have. This is I made it a cross between the Scorn and the Strafe, and I made a Red Dragon figure out of it. Beast Machines figure. And I painted what is that guy? Predaking. So he's a little bit better looking. Some more dinosaur figures up here. I really like the way the light cascades through the clear. I'm really into neon colors, so you'll probably see that a lot of the Generation figures are kind of my highlights. But I really like the neon and the chrome. That's a very 90s toy to me. Got the Cyber Shark. I'm still waiting on Rampage, but I do have a depth charge here waiting to stab the smithereens out of him when he comes out. And then down here I've got another Cryotech and the T-Rex, which is a repaint of the Megatron. And then over here I got some Beast Wars figures. Got these guys in a pose, the Transmetals, Optimus and Megatron. Got that kind of scene set up where they're fighting in one of the spaceships, or one of the, you know, whatever it is. And then just a couple random shelves, just mostly Predacons. I think maybe one Maximal in there. And then down here, this is pretty much my season 3 kinda. I guess it's got just all over the board, but this is kind of the main cast of the Maximals. So Beast Wars was definitely my favorite of the shows that was put out for Transformers, but this one kind of captivates a lot of I don't know, new and old feelings, so that's really neat. And just more obscure Beast Wars figures down here. Then over here I have some kind of more high-end stuff. I have, he's not where he's supposed to be. I have a buddy that's over, he likes to take pictures of a bunch of these all the time too, so some of them are always misplaced. Anyway, so I got the Galvatron. This is my Mastermind Creations Nova Prime. He's got too many names to say everything that's official. And this is a custom Cyclonus. Really happy with that. I'll go ahead and get in close on the face, see if I can. It's maybe a little too blurry, but I like to. I got some of the cheekbones in there a little bit better to make him look more MMC. And then these are the Planet X figures to invoke the Fall of Cybertron video games. War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron video games are probably what returned me into collecting more than anything. So that's a big bonus. Down here I have the Planet X, Apocalypse, Trypticon fighting the Dinobots. There's some Generation Dinobots with some Planet X Dinobot. That looks really cool. Grimlock. Down here I have like what is this? The Planet Busters. I forget. Phase Sixers. You know, I got the two here on the side, and then Abominus is standing next to Six Shot. So that's kind of cool because he's got his Terracon buddies next to him, and then you got Overlord here on the side. Which I love Overlord's character. His design just always kind of just never did anything super for me, but it's really nice to have these kind of uber powerful characters down here. So then skip back over. This is my kind of Generations lot. I got this is kind of like an IDW shelf. I got a lot of characters in here reminiscent of IDW. Most of them are just uber miniatures. Like I got the new Micromasters in here and the Headmasters. I pretty much built this shelf because this Megatron I thought was just way too small, and so every time I saw a Legends figure with a small head that I liked, I just snagged it up so that it would kind of just make this one look so much bigger. And then over here I've got pretty much just the I want to say Maximals, but they're Autobots. And then I'll scale down here. This is probably my favorite shelf. This is kind of invoking War for Cybertron, even though most of them aren't War for Cybertron characters. But it has like the IDW when Megatron fought who is that? Sentinel Prime. And then he's got all his kind of wreckers basically with him. And then this is the negative or nightmare color scheme for Megatron with a Nemesis Prime. And then, anyway, so we got kind of his band of War for Cybertron characters in here, and I thought the Titan's Return figures went really well with just the aesthetics. So I thought that was matched pretty good. Down here I have some more War for Cybertron characters. Again, I know not everything counts, but the Bruticus in the back, he's the official. I know they're Earth modes, but he looks so good. So I have him in there as kind of like the video game version. And then I've got the new War for Cybertron stuff mixed with the old War for Cybertron stuff, mixed with some Generations that's just scaled properly. Those all work really well. Like that Generations one works pretty good in his robot mode, even though I think everything else is trash about the Combiner Dinobot. So moving down, I have some more, a lot of Siege stuff down here, Generations. I like the scale of these guys. Their Earth modes are represented really well, and then, you know, I got even an RID figure in there that I think works pretty good when it's in its car mode. His face is kind of derpy in robot mode, but that's fine. I like blur, so I have probably 3 or 4 different blurs. This is kind of a fantasy shelf. These characters are kind of made up, but that's Razorclaw from the Universe line. Then I have, these are all lines. Then this is the Perfect Effects line that they put out in the Nemesis color scheme. And then this is Alpha Trion. I call him Alpha Iron Lion, something like that. Like the Iron Lion Zion song from Bob Marley. And then I gave him the wings from Laserbeak that peg in on his back. So that works really cool to make him a winged lion, kind of like Razorclaw. Trying to keep this under 15 minutes, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. I got some movie toys over here. These are the Studio Series and the Last Night stuff. Pretty neat. I'm going to turn on some lights to get some better lighting over here. I have a lot of lights, but I'm nervous to make everything too bright. Okay, I think that's probably good. So there's Lockdown in the back. He's probably my favorite villain from the entire movie series. The only one really worth mentioning. I mean, Megatron's cool, but you know, he just kind of keeps reappearing in different ways. And then I got some Autobots here, Generations Autobots, kind of IDW stuff. I really like the IDW comics, so most of these characters are very indicative of that, and that's why I have them on this shelf. I'm still building a lot of my Decepticons. I guess there's some stuff that's out of place down here too. But I had the RID Soundwave with the Rumble and Frenzy, and then I want to get all the Seekers, so then I'll have the 3 Seekers down here, and then tidy this shelf up a little bit. Down here I have some Dinobots and MonsterCon, MonsterBot, G1 stuff. All my comics, stuff that I have in box. This is more comics and crystals. This is probably my favorite scene from Beast Wars. I added the swords, but this is when Tigerhawk and Transmetal 2 Megatron fought. Really epic battle. So I like to have that on display. Then I have my kind of Toys R Us of walls. Just everything that I have in box. You know, I'm not going to go through them all because, again, I'm starting to run out of time, but I have everything that I've just pretty much run out of room to display, but I still wanted to keep, and so I have a lot of the IDW character representations, like Cosmos, and I got the new Battle Trap and stuff. I got Spawn from back in the day, some of the Siege stuff, Power of the Primes. I have that whole trilogy in box. I have one of the Combiner Wars things. I got Power of the Primes. I got Titan's Return in the box. So my girlfriend got me a few of these. She got me the Devastator. That's the new one from Walmart. Even though it looks just like the G1, it's the reissue. So that's really cool. And then I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I do have some odd and ends figures. My favorite one that from the movie line was the Slash. So I have probably 4 or 5 of him all over the place, and so he's probably been seen a couple of times. And then I have this Beast Wars Megatron repaint, the Cinder Store, in the translucent and powdered blue. Really a big fan of that. And I think that's probably it. So I'll go ahead and wrap up the video there. Thanks again for watching.